We're coming to you tonight once again to hopefully give you something else to consider.
Yes.
Tonight, we have you in for a special treat for you. We are going to be dealing with what, sis?
Love languages.
That's what we're going to be dealing with tonight. And we're going to touch a little bit on those 5 love languages, that famous book that everyone is reading as well. But we are not here to promote the book. We're just here to give you something else to consider. So tonight, sis is going to kick us off, and we're going right into it. It's all yours, sis.
All right. As Reverend Yo was saying, there are 5 love languages: words, physical touch. All right, I want to make sure I get all 5. Words, physical touch, quality time, tangible gifts. I'm missing one. Acts of service. Yes, acts of service.
Gift and quality time. Whoop, whoop.
That's it, acts of service. So we know words. And many times when people hear love language, that's the first thing that we think about. And that's usually all that we think about. But we can speak love to each other in many different ways, other than words. It's like the acts of service is just doing something for someone, like you come home and hubby has cleaned up the kitchen. That's a love language.
Yeah.
That is or dinner is already prepared. That's showing that you love someone, because sometimes with words, we may say it and our spirit is really not in it, or we don't really mean it, or there's that robotic, you say, I love you, and then someone else says, I love you too.
Yeah.
Love you too. Yeah. So sometimes it can go deeper, and that's that act of service and quality time together. Many people call it date night, but you don't even have to go out. Just spend some quality time together with someone. And are we just talking about a spouse? No. This is just an act with anyone of love, right? My mind is going blank on me tonight, sis. Whoa. Oh, okay. Let me go to my notes. A tangible gift. We all know what that is. It's actually buying someone something that they can hold, they can feel, that tangible gift. And then physical touch. Do you know that if people don't get a hug or that physical touch, they could die?
Oh my.
They did a test with babies and not picking them up, not touching them. We actually need that physical touch, whether it's a handshake, a pat on the back, a hug. People really need that. We are meant to be connected.
Yeah.
And I always say that God did not bubble wrap us all. It is all about connection. Whether it is that talking to each other and that smile, all of that, it's about connection. Now, for love languages, do we only speak one? Are we only supposed to choose one language? Absolutely not. And can 2 people speak different languages to each other? Yes. Yes. Whatever you are comfortable in expressing how you feel to someone, whatever way you are comfortable with that would be your love language. Can you be comfortable with more than one? Yes. Can you be comfortable with all of them? Yes. If that is you, yes. For me, some people don't like getting flowers. I like getting flowers. And I hear, but then they just die off. But I know, like for my husband, when he goes to get me flowers, he does it with such intention and such excitement about himself that I know that that is his way of expressing, his emotion for me, his love for me. And then the laughter is a love language. When you can laugh together, all of that. What do you think, sis? Jump in here.
Oh, I was waiting. I want to cut you off. I didn't want to cut you off.
I'm talking.
Yes, all of that and some, because we all have different, yes, these five are very important. The words, our physical touch, our acts of service, our tangible gift, and our quality time. Actually, my husband has all five of these love languages, but the one I like the one I like the most is more of the quality time one, the quality time and the physical touch. And the quality time is because we are always on the go. Either he's working or I'm traveling or I'm moving or I'm doing something. So when we come together, we have what we call a date night. So every week we have a day where we have a date night. We don't necessarily have to leave the house. It can be we sharing the kitchen, making a meal so we both can eat, and then we sit down and we watch a movie together. Or we sit in our library room and he read and I read. To me, that's that quality time because we're together, whether we focus on each other of our books, we're still there together. So it's that quality time. And me, I love the hug. I want to hug every single day. You need to hug me. We have what I call the 4-point kiss, but then the five is because we do the double tap. So every morning he has to kiss me. He has to kiss both cheeks, the forehead, and then he comes down to the lips, and then he has to come either back up to the forehead or do a double tap on the lips, because that's just my physical touch part of the stuff I like. So when we're dealing with these, we're dealing with one or the other not at every time, but somewhere in there, we're dealing with each one of these five languages. Acts of service can mean he may bring me a cup of coffee one morning, or I may get up and bring him a cup of coffee, or he make my plate, or I make his plate. It's just the little things. And I'm
Right.
I'm one of those that I'm not too fond on the flowers. I get them, but I always tell him, thank you for the flowers, but we could have did something now. I'm not the one high on the flower girls, and I'm definitely not the one high on the roses. He can go to the store and buy me a bouquet of store flowers. I don't care. He can buy them off the side of the road, whatever. I don't care. So to have all five of those in a relationship, in a marriage, to me, they are key. They're very key.
And each episode, we always ask you guys to share your comments and share your opinions. Please really type in what your specific love languages are, whether it's one, whether it's all of them. Because as sis was talking, David and I was just talking this morning, because I have this habit. Every morning I get up and I go and I sit in his lap. And usually I'll sit and I'll lay my head back down and can almost go right back to sleep. And he starts rubbing my back. And so I was just saying, people just probably would not believe this, that I do this. And I asked him, I said, you ever tell anyone that I do this? And so he was saying, yeah, I think I have mentioned it to a couple of my friends, that this is just something that you do. And it's just automatic. If you think about it and look at your relationships, you will probably be surprised at how many of these different love languages you are already doing.
Yeah.
You would probably be surprised. So send us a comment, put a comment in the comment section and let us know what's going on with you. We want to know, we thank you for following us and watching our episodes, but we're about getting involved in conversation. And you may give someone else another idea of a love language that they can do.
Mm-hmm. And because when we're talking about these five love languages, they're not just for male, they're just not for female, they're both. So this is a two-party thing. It's not just, well, I only want him to do it for me, or I only do it for him, he don't do it for me. It's something that you have to do together as a couple. It builds your relationship with one another. It also helps you to understand your partner more, because I've been married now for 20 years and I tell you, I'm still learning stuff about my husband on some things, because it's like the older we get, we also change. So
That's it.
some things we used to do, we don't do anymore. And some things we didn't do, we do now. So stand within these five, keeping your words, that physical touch, that act of service, that quality time, and that tangible gift, keeping all of that in your relationship. So when one changes, you can see it and understand it. It's not a surprise to you. It's just knowing, okay, now wait, we're older now, so this is the way he's showing his touched with me, or this is how now he wants to spend quality time, or this is now how he expresses his words of I love you, or this is the gift he given me now. And that, to me, there is no small gift. Sometimes I just buy me a card. I don't have to have anything with it. Just buy me a card and write something in it, or if the card is nice, just sign your name. It's just that act of giving it. So it changes though as you get older. Some of the stuff may change. Your gifts may be more elaborate or less elaborate. It just may change, but it's just the way. As long as you are communicating with one another, you begin to understand and see the changes that each individual may be having.
And it's not just as you're getting older, but it could be whatever headspace you're in at the time.
Yeah.
We get into our moods, and we get into, life starts affecting us differently, and we get into a different headspace. Yeah. But we have to still make those connections, right? And so it might be different, where you may have spoken more, but now you're doing more things for that person. And it may not be tangible things, whatever your situation is, but it could just be physical things. It could be a back rub, a shoulder massage, or something like that. Yeah. But it's just a matter of making a connection, the importance of making some type of a connection.
Yeah, and for me, that touch and that time is more important to me, like I said, than that tangible gift. Because when you're doing that touch and that time, to me, spending time with me is, for me, an act of service. Because you when we're spending that time together, you brought me a cup of coffee, or you brought me something to drink. Like sometimes we'll be watching TV, and then I'll just look over and be like, oh, I'm sure thirsty. That's a hint for
him to get up and go get you something to drink.
Something to drink. And he'd be like, you're closer. I'll be like, I just don't feel like moving. And he'll actually get up and go get me something to drink. So it's all, to me, all five can be tied in one, but you may not get all five in every moment of what you're doing. So,
well, no, you probably won't get it in every moment. But it, like you said, I believe you said that this earlier, is knowing your person.
Yeah.
Knowing your person, because I know that my husband he sits and he watches YouTube, and he finds old stuff to watch, concerts or something like that. And I know that when I go into his office and I sit down, whether it's in his lap or at his desk chair, for me to sit there and watch a YouTube episode of something with him, he has said, thank you for coming in here and watching that with me. That's a love language for him. And it was just as simple as me being in his space and enjoying whatever it was that he was watching,
Yeah.
So it's just different, and it's knowing your person.
Yeah.
It's not always.
It's the same as when we're watching, as my husband called them, your chick flicks. Because one year I used to have a friend, she lived in California. Well, she's still my friend. She's my sister friend. When she lived in California, she has since moved to Memphis. But when she lived in California in July to December, we would have our little girls' night just so I could watch my July Christmas movies but now sometimes he can't do like her and I used to do. We could just watch Christmas movie. Chris, he maybe can do one, maybe 1.5, 2, but after that, it's just not happening. So just for him to sit there and watch one of those with me, I'd be like, he loved me.
That's this.
Some of that YouTube stuff, girl, I'll be holding my breath.
I can sit there and watch a couple. I sit there and watch a couple.
I don't like the ones where I have to read the screen because I don't understand what they're saying. But like he watches ones where they're traveling to the Philippines and Thailand and all these other places, and I'm sitting there like, okay, let me just watch this. Just let me watch this. How much more time is this here? Oh, it's only like 2 more minutes. Okay. So
my husband is watching R&B concerts. You know, the other day I walked in there and Luther was playing, so I sat down.
So that's all the way different. So, ladies and gentlemen, whoever may be watching, you got to share the love in the love languages. All 5 of them.
Yes, but listen to what John, the 3rd chapter, the 18th verse, John just confirms the importance of expressing love through truth and actions and not just words. Not just words, because as I stated before, a person's spirit may not be in it, or they may be saying it and not really meaning it. So we need to grasp some truth and actions behind what we are saying.
We have to really understand and know that and do that. So that's definitely good. So, well, we hope you all enjoyed our episode tonight on the 5 love languages, words and physical touch and acts of service, tangible gifts and quality time. We're not experts in this. We're just giving you something else to consider in this conversation. So sis, you have anything before I go ahead and roll us all the way out?
Drop those comments, as my sis used my line, and you guys know she just used my line about giving you something else to consider. So what I'm saying is, please drop those comments in the comment section. It doesn't hurt. It takes a second. Let us know what your favorite love language is. Let us know how many of them that you are doing. You can just put a number in, whatever that number is, and let us know. Let's get a conversation going on this.
Yes. So we hope you enjoyed our episode tonight as we were dealing with the 5 love languages. And we use our own personal experiences to give you just a little something else to consider. So we thank you for joining us in the elaboration room with 2 sisters of one.